Hi everybody, and welcome to round 2 of our turtle presentation. If you were watching on our Zoom, we had some connection issues and we have defaulted to recording and uploading it to YouTube like we did for our invasive species one. So, without further ado, here are our wonderful presenters for today.
Hi, I'm Becca. I'm the interpretive ranger here at Sam's Point. Welcome to Sam's Point. It is a beautiful June day. No clouds in the sky. And we're going to talk about turtles today. June is turtle month. And that is because this is their egg laying season, and you see them out moving around more. You see them especially on the roads, trying to cross the road. So we're going to talk about the turtle that crosses the road. And the turtle you probably see the most. In my opinion, it's one of the more common turtles we have in our area, and that's our snapping turtle. So I'm going to grab the snapping turtle shell. This is a big guy, big turtle here. It clocks in at 10 to 16 inches long from tip to carapace to carapace. Their shell is 10 to 16 inches long. It has a characteristically large head, saw-toothed tail, stocky legs, and really large claws, and usually a pretty bad temper. It is mostly aquatic. It swims around, goes fishing, does some deep dives in some rivers and lakes and ponds and anywhere you find water. They're very defensive, and they hunt, but they also scavenge. And when they hunt, they catch like small ducks and some fish, and that's their diet. So we have the snapper here. Snapping turtles, we'll talk about moving turtles across the road. So I have my snapping turtle. It is crossing the road. Make sure anytime you are to move a turtle or move anything, if anything's in the road, you are in a safe place. You pull off the road extreme significant, a large amount off the road. Hazard lights on, brightly colored clothes, the whole shebang. And if you don't feel safe, don't do it. Just swerve, or just go around them very slowly. Never swerve. So for a snapping turtle, I'm going to tell you to not pick it up. I'm going to have you grab a big stick. If you got a shovel in your car, you want to go from a safe distance and move that thing, because you imagine it has a head poking out about this big. That head poking out can, if you were to grab it like this, which you do for other turtles, snap your finger right off. You will lose a finger. It is a very common injury with turtles, probably the most with snappers. So always move it with a big stick, really big stick, or a shovel. There are ways you can grab it safely, but we'll leave those up to the wildlife experts. While I have my large snapping turtle shell here, I'm going to show you the inside of it. So we have I'm going to get a little closer. A turtle, this is their back. This is their vertebrae. Just like we have our vertebrae here, this is their vertebrae. They cannot live outside of their shell. Their shell is their home and their backbone. Pause for a second. Alexa, could you move the radio? Thank you. Okay, unpause.
Okay.
So you have the backbone here, like our backbone. So you just want to, I repeated that twice, shell here.
Yeah. So, question.
Yes.
If a turtle shell is broken, is there a way for people to safely get it to a vet or rescue center?
You might want to call a wildlife rehabilitator. A lot of times if that shell is broken, they're going to die. Like if they get crushed, you can't really put them as puzzle pieces back together. That's not how they work. The shell is their body. Yeah. So we're going to go into our next most common turtle, is the painted turtle. And it is it has a brightly striped neck, an orange and yellow, or the stripes are like orangey yellow, with spots on its head. And it's usually found basking on logs and ponds in wetlands. That's the one you see sunning itself on the pond in a nice sunny day. and it eats tadpoles, other invertebrates, and other vegetation. So it is another omnivore. And then we have our box turtle. Take my box turtle shell. I got a nice little box turtle shell. It is our New York State's most terrestrial turtle. It lives most of its life on land, living in fields and forests, only using shallow pools in the times of like a hot and dry weather. So when it's middle of summer, you might find it just like cooling itself off in there. Another omnivore. This one enjoys berries, tadpoles, worms, and slugs. And you can see its nice patterning. These have fallen off, but you can see the nice patterns on the little spots on the shell there. And this one, just to prove to you that every turtle, most turtles have this as their backbone. We got another backbone there. Yeah. This one, to move across the road, you could safely pick it up like this. Just 2 fingers. And again, to protect you and to protect the animals, so you're not passing each other anything back and forth, gloves are always a good idea. Okay, so moving on to our spotted turtle. So that, box turtle is only 4 to 6 inches, painted turtle is only 5 to 7 inches, so not too much of a difference. We have the spotted turtle then. It is our prettiest turtle. It has yellow spots on its shell and on the top of its head. It lives in wetlands and bogs and wet meadows, so it goes on land and off in the water, and slow-moving woodland streams it likes as well. Its favorite diet is the spotted salamander eggs and wood frog eggs. And then after eating their eggs, they'll eat their tadpoles, and they'll eat other aquatic insects. So it has a whole variety of diets. The next turtle, and the last turtle we'll talk about today, is the wood turtle. That's my favorite turtle. It's the one I see all the time. It loves the park here. We have the perfect environment for it here in the park, and that is about 6 to 8 inches. So all these turtles are not that big. They're only 4 to 8 inches big, aside from the snapper. So the wood turtle is found around clean, fast-moving streams. This turtle does fish. It does like fish and eat some fish. It also likes forested areas. It also eats mushrooms and berries and slugs and tadpoles. So they all kind of have a similar diet, eating things they can find easily on the ground. And we are concerned about a couple of these species. When we talk about being a species of concern in New York State, that means we see a population in decline. So we monitor them, and we're like, they're not on the endangered list yet, but they're kind of getting there. And those include the wood turtle, box turtle, and spotted turtle. And I took a picture of a wood turtle for you that I moved across the road nice and safely. So we can talk about this little wood turtle here. So this is the carapace here. And we have the orange stripe on its neck and orange on the inside of its feet. This, I know it's an iPhone picture, please, I apologize. These rings here, to look at the wood turtle, it looks like the rings of a tree. And it has like a texture like that. And so now we'll talk about those rings on all turtles. So we're back to our box turtle. We have our carapace here. That's for the top of the shell to the bottom of the shell. This is the carapace. The bottom of the shell, which I do not have, is the plaston. That's its little flat belly. And then we have the scutes, which is the cutest word for them. And it is this octagonal shape, all of these little pieces here. This is a scute, one scute. And then we have the annuli, which annual, the rings that it creates. So each one of these lines is an annuli, and that is like the rings of a tree. It is literally the different years that the turtles are living. So it grows just a little bit. You can see the variations in growth here. So we've got a tight annuli here and a long annuli here. Okay, so that's what I have to say about turtles today. Remember, always be safe when touching any creature, and make sure that you are safe and everyone on your vehicle is safe if you're ever going to move a turtle across the street. Just keep an eye out for them. Maybe just like stop the car and let them pass by. It's another safe way to do it, so you don't even have to get out and do any other risky activities. So my special treat for you guys today is that the mountain laurel is in bloom. So let's come look at some of my favorite, one of my favorite flowers. So if you want to come on a little closer, we can look at this. So the mountain laurel, it blooms in June. It has a cluster of flowers. It has this, again, this like boxy shape to open up and have these little rings. The leaves are evergreen, so it is one of our green plants in the wintertime that kind of give us a little hope that spring's coming, because it's just still so beautiful. They grow pretty well here. This is the prime example of their home. If you want to look at the phone over there. They are absolutely in bloom in their whole glory at the moment. Mountain laurel is a fire-dependent species, so if we were to get a fire here, it goes up in flame pretty quickly. That evergreen leaf just kind of ignites and just kind of goes. But they can survive a fire pretty well and come back very heartily afterwards, and be just as beautiful as ever. So that's one reason that they're so, this is one reason that this is their habitat. My favorite thing about them is when you walk through a forest of them, it's really difficult to bushwhack through them because they are giant bushes. But it makes you feel like a Disney princess while you're walking through the forest, which is always kind of nice. You just feel like a little princess, and all the pink and white flowers just blooming around you. It's very pretty. If we come back over here, so next month, Amelia and I and Alexa will be talking about blueberries and the huckleberry pickers and the history of Sam's Point with that. And we have a sneak peek blueberry for you. So you can see they're not ripe yet. This is June 17th. And so it's over here. We have some blueberries. They're still green. They're not blue yet. But we will see you back here the end of July for blueberries and the history of the huckleberry pickers at Sam's Point. Thank you guys for listening today. Have a great day.
Have a great day. All right, and we are ending here.